Now, coming towards question number three, how did my production skills developed throughout this project? To allow you to fully capture the idea of the progress I've made, it's very important to know what skill set I had prior to my project or prior to taking ACE Media Studies. So I would consistently draw a comparative in my skill sets now versus prior to recording my film intro project. So starting off with the fact that I was a very camera shy person, right? I did not know how to act, how to recruit, no prior experience within this field. I never really took good pictures either. So taking entire videos was something I had never really had a good experience in doing so. However, over time, taking multiple demo shots and multiple training sessions with my mentor, I did learn a lot from his instructions, which was like necessary to have a exposure before like shooting my own project, right? And as soon as I started shooting, I did some photography practices that allowed me to develop these skills required to shoot long videos. Secondly, auditioning. My auditioning skills were very weak. I did not know anything about how do you source or reach out to potential casts, the metrics they should, the metrics that I should observe while recruiting my cast, the criteria I should set up, and compare whether and check and compare whether the cast I'm trying to recruit will suit and will be appropriate to the project that I'm trying to shoot. However, over time, I improved on my judgment skills a lot, right? Knowing exactly the type of person for a certain role. This gave me an exposure with a demo criteria as well that I kept in front of me and compared and checked, marking tick or cross while choosing the cast that I wanted to choose, right? When I auditioned students at my school or my own friends. Moreover, I started following a storyboard or a mood board, which was something I had never really known before. But creating a storyboard and then following it was something that I sort of started to learn while I was taking AS Media Studies. So it was something that I would always make sure to do whenever I create something else in the future, right? Storyboard and mood board would be my utmost priority. Moreover, I did not know where to begin the production itself. Would I just randomly go to my home, call the cast members, and just start? Or is it supposed to be planned? How does it work? How many hours should it take? Across how many days? These were so many questions that would come into my mind. I had no idea about the production planning skills, etc. I had no skill set within the management itself. However, taking this project and all those days, throughout those days, I learned to maintain a checklist, discussing with my cast in a more professional and in a disciplined manner. I used to set maximum hours for goal for each shooting day, came on Zoom meetings on the day prior to shooting day. So the cast had a briefing about what things would they be set up for, what sort of makeup are they required, and the things that they would be doing on the shoot day, right? So they had a briefing and a great idea about the things that would happen on the other day. Moreover, I maintained a props checklist before arriving on the set. This ensured that I did not forget or miss anything while we were on the set, and we would always wrap up and take all of those things with ourselves at home, or we would keep it there safely on the location where the set was staged, where we were shooting for all 3 days. Thirdly, fourthly, I had no information or knowledge about camera angles. Or are there any conventions to be observed? Any rules not to be broken? What is meant by bird eye view, close up, 180 degree, etc. However, through training under my school mentor and hit and trial, I learned significantly. In fact, during my demo shoot, I broke the 180-degree rule, which my mentor then taught me about. And then, therefore, I improved and made sure it was not repeated during the final shooting as well. I also learned how to capture a shaky video to represent tension, panic, and audience points of view, shots to create a spooky, suspenseful atmosphere for my audience. Especially when during my film intro, Tyler reads the 6 minute written on a paper in the film intro, and his hands start to shake. So to show that atmosphere, I did made sure that the camera was also shaking a little bit to develop and to induce suspense and fear amongst the audience watching, who could now relate to the dialogue, relate to his emotions and the thoughts going on to his mind, because I wanted to take away the effect of calmness, because a stabilized camera wouldn't have suited at that specific scene, because it would have represented calmness and soothing, right? Because the camera was stable. So I had to shake a camera a little bit to represent tension, to represent chaos, panic, and tension. Moreover, using softwares. It's very, very important to have a good software application for editing purposes for a good media project to be produced in the first place. However, I was only aware of photo editing softwares that I used for my social media accounts, for instance, Instagram, right? And the software I used was PixArt, amongst others. So during and prior to filming this project, AS Media project, I researched and learned about best softwares, especially those compatible with my laptop device, because an 8 GB RAM should be able to handle these editing softwares, right? Then I learned and started to use Wondershare Filmora. At first, I edited the demo versions to understand the basic features of the application, and then later, when I realized that I do have the required basic training to now professionally use this application, I then purchased the premium subscription and then later explored all premium features and utilized those features onto my final shot. I also learned how to fade the sound in and out, how to import and export media files in the maximum quality possible, how to create layers of audios, how to use tools such as zoom in, slow motioning the scenes, etc. And I genuinely believe these skills that I've learned by using Filmora as an editing software will help me a lot when I record more videos in the future for my TikTok account, for my Instagram stories, and so on. I would also like to add how before recording this film project, I did not know when and how to add a climax or where should I end my film intro in a way that it leaves the audience suspenseful and they look forward to the rest of the film. But now I do know very well, because now when I end the film intro right at the point where the magician offers money to the person who was asking the question, Tyler. So when the magician asks him for money, I end the film intro right at that point to keep the audience guessing that whether he will buy it or not, or what will happen if he buys, what will happen if he does not buy and does not die within 6 minutes. What would the magician then do? Would his business or would his fake magic be exposed, or will he actually die in 6 minutes and the magician will turn out to be a truthful person? So how will this end? What will be the next scene? So this was how I ended my film intro. This skill of ending at a climax moment is a skill that I've learned after this film intro. Now coming towards script. A good film always requires a good script, and a good script requires good amount of practice, something that I never really had before taking this project. However, however, over the past few months, writing several demo scripts and showing them to my mentor for improvement, I've learned a lot, especially about the ways dialogues should be structured to create suspense and thrill. When should a new character enter in the film, and how his or her entrance should affect the progression of the film. So, having learned this, I feel very confident that I can now create good scripts for any short videos or potential films in the future, because now I know the format, now I know the general structure and progression of a film, especially its intro. Moreover, audio and lighting. I had genuinely no skills related to audio and lighting prior to taking this project, right? Because things like editing audio, voiceover, I never really had to do these things in my life before. But taking this project, I learned, because I had to utilize voiceover, layering of audios, live audio recording, adjusting audio bandwidth and loudness, within the software, right? Because I had to do all of these things with my demo shots, and after learning through trial and hits on my demo shots, and then utilize these skills onto my final shot, which now has several layers of audios to create that suspenseful atmosphere, to have those beats, those beat drops when the title is introduced, when the climax is cut, when the character are introduced, when the credits and names of the titles, sorry, names of the cast is displayed onto the screen. The beat in the background should be in synchronization with that progression of the film, right? All of these skills I have learned over time by taking this project. And as far as the lighting is concerned, I got to learn about iPhone's exposure settings, which will help me a lot to capture really good photos in the dark now, because I did not know how the exposure could be increased or decreased depending upon the light available. Moreover, color grading and correction has helped me significantly, right? Because I thought that the scenes themselves, while live shooting, should have perfect lighting. However, the tools that Filmora provided me to correct the colors and lightning were very, very convenient, because it taught me that I can edit and achieve the perfect lighting having completed the shoot, right? Post shoot, I can do so many things that will ensure that the production is at its maximum quality, at its maximum perfection. Overall, I've learned a lot. A 2 minutes film intro has taught me things that I could not have ever learned from 2 hours theoretical class. Because of this practical experience and exposure that I've undergone in the past several months, I genuinely enjoyed every bit of it, and I believe that I am very well prepared to shoot some amazing films in the future.